We all know the story. The unsinkable ship, the iceberg, the 1,500 souls lost to the dark, frozen Atlantic. It's a tale etched into our global consciousness, a symbol of hubris and tragedy. But what if everything you think you know is just the surface-level narrative? What if the Titanic's deepest, most terrifying truths are still buried not just under 2 miles of ocean, but under layers of cover-ups, strange coincidences, and unanswered questions that defy logic? Tonight, we're not just revisiting a disaster. We're investigating a crime scene over a century cold. We're piecing together evidence that suggests the sinking of the Titanic wasn't a simple accident, but a perfect storm of hidden flaws, human failings, and mysteries so chilling they've been deliberately overlooked. Strap in. This is the Titanic as you've never heard it before. This is the Titanic, 5 mysteries that remain unsolved. Mystery number 1. The ship that was doomed before it sailed. The coal fire conspiracy. Let's rewind. April 2nd, 1912. Titanic departs Belfast for sea trials. But hidden from the celebrating crowds and eager passengers was a secret already eating the ship from the inside. Photographic evidence and crew testimony later revealed a massive, smoldering coal fire in Boiler Room 5's bunker. This wasn't a small flare-up. This was an inferno, burning at an estimated 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit for weeks before the maiden voyage. Senior engineers and White Star Line officials knew. They had teams battling it around the clock in Southampton, but admitting it would mean delaying the voyage, losing massive revenue, and facing humiliating headlines. So they made a calculated, deadly decision. They ordered the crew to shovel the burning coal first, hoping to quench the fire at sea, and told no one. Here's where science chills your blood. Modern metallurgists like Professor Roger McCarthy have analyzed the steel from the Titanic's wreck. Steel heated to such extreme temperatures and then cooled, a process called thermal stress, becomes brittle. It loses up to 75% of its flexibility and tensile strength. The iceberg's impact wasn't a clean cut. It was a series of brutal punches and tears along the starboard hull. And the worst of that damage, it occurred directly in the area where the coal fire had been baking the steel plate for weeks. The haunting question isn't if the fire played a role. It's this: did the iceberg sink the Titanic, or did it simply deliver the final, fatal blow to a hull that was already critically compromised? Was the unsinkable ship a floating, ticking time bomb from the moment it left port? The company's silence wasn't just negligence. It was a conscious choice that sentenced hundreds to a death they never saw coming. This isn't a theory. It's physics. And it points to a cover-up that started long before the first lifeboat was lowered. Mystery number 2. The missing binoculars and the last-minute shuffle. An inside job. Now, let's step onto the bridge. The night is calm, black, deadly. Lookout Frederick Fleet famously shouts, "Iceberg right ahead." But he saw it only with his naked eyes. The binoculars for the crow's nest were locked away in a cabinet, and the key was missing. A simple, devastating oversight, or something more sinister? The man with that key was Second Officer David Blair. He was a seasoned officer, deeply familiar with the Titanic's layout and procedures. But in a last-minute reshuffle, He was removed from the voyage to make room for the White Star Line's chief officer, Henry Wilde, who brought experience from the Titanic's sister ship, Olympic. In the rushed departure, Blair forgot to hand the binoculars key to his replacement. He walked off the ship with it in his pocket. But consider the conspiracy that has haunted researchers for decades. The Titanic's owner, J.P. Morgan's International Mercantile Marine Company, was in financial trouble. The Titanic was massively overinsured. Some theorists, like authors Robin Gardner and Dan Vandervat in The Titanic Conspiracy, posit that the plan was never to sink the Titanic, but to stage a dramatic, controlled accident with her nearly identical sister ship, the Olympic, which had been badly damaged in a prior collision in an insurance scam. A last-minute ship swap, they argue, would explain numerous testimonies from passengers and crew about the ship's strange behavior and differences. In this dark theory, Blair's removal wasn't random. He knew the Olympic intimately. Having him on the Titanic, if it was indeed the Titanic, risked him noticing subtle differences. Was he removed to keep him silent? And were the missing binoculars, a small but critical detail that reduced reaction time, part of ensuring the accident happened? The official inquiry dismissed the key as a tragic mistake, but in the world of high-stakes fraud, the most perfect crimes rely on mistakes that look innocent. Mystery number 3: the Phantom Ship and the Californian's guilty silence. This is the mystery that screams of cowardice and a lingering century-old guilt. As the Titanic fired distress rockets into the clear, starry sky, another ship sat idly, close enough for its crew to see those very rockets, the SS Californian. Its wireless operator had gone to bed. Its captain, Stanley Lord, saw the signals but dismissed them as company rockets or party lights. He did nothing. But survivor testimonies from multiple lifeboats tell a more complex and sinister story. They reported seeing 2 sets of mysterious lights, one the stationary Californian, the other a smaller, unidentified vessel that appeared to sail between the Titanic and the Californian, at one point coming so close that lifeboats rowed desperately towards it for hours, only to watch it turn and vanish into the darkness. The Californian's inaction is a confirmed tragedy, but this phantom ship represents an active, malevolent choice to abandon over 1,000 people to their fate. Its identity remains one of the ocean's most shameful secrets. A ship and its crew who witnessed the unthinkable and decided their own freedom was worth more than 1,500 lives. Mystery number 4: the suicide of J. Bruce Ismay, a life tormented by what he knew. J. Bruce Ismay, managing director of the White Star Line, survived the Titanic, and for that, history has branded him a coward. He was painted as the villain who snuck onto a lifeboat while women and children died. But what if the truth of his guilt is even darker than we imagine? What if he wasn't just saving his skin, but carrying a secret so devastating it consumed his entire life? Ismay claimed he only boarded collapsible sea after helping load women and children and seeing no one else nearby. But his behavior after the rescue is telling. On the Carpathia, he was catatonic, staring at a wall, shielded by a doctor. He spent the rest of his life as a virtual recluse, haunted, jumping at loud noises, described by his family as a broken man. Historians like Frances Wilson in her biography, How to Survive the Titanic, suggest his torment wasn't just survivor's guilt. It was the burden of knowledge. Ismay was intimately involved in the ship's design and cost-cutting decisions. He was present at the meeting where the decision to reduce the number of lifeboats from 48 to 20 was made, for aesthetic reasons, to keep the decks clear. He knew about the coal fire. He may have even pressured Captain Smith to maintain speed in the ice field to make a sensational early arrival in New York. Did J. Bruce Ismay carry the horrible, unshakable certainty that he was not just a survivor, but an architect of the disaster? His subsequent life of self-imposed exile and mental anguish reads less like a coward hiding from shame, and more like a man being slowly eaten alive by a truth.
So, subscribe our channel for more videos.